An ordinary rock climber who spent his days hanging from dangerous cliffs turned his struggles and deep connection with nature into a brand that today stands as a billion-dollar empire. Think about it, from being just a climber to becoming the king of a global eco-brand. This isn't just a business story. It's a silent revolution for the planet, a movement proving that passion for nature can reshape the entire world of business. Yvon Chouinard's childhood was simpler than simple. His family background was poor, and money was always short, so much so that affording even basic things was a struggle, let alone new toys. But there was one thing that set his life apart: his passion for climbing. From a young age, he felt a deep connection with mountains and nature. While his friends had access to expensive climbing gear, Yvon simply didn't have the money to buy such things. But instead of letting this limitation hold him back, he turned it into an opportunity. With his own hands, he began crafting tools, shaping old metal into affordable, functional climbing gear for himself. This do-it-yourself attitude became the first step in his journey. The boy who couldn't afford equipment would one day become the very creator of the tools and gear that defined his destiny. As Yvon Chouinard's climbing gear started gaining popularity, a serious problem emerged. His equipment was damaging the environment, leaving permanent scars on cliffs and rocks. The climbing community openly criticized him. "You're destroying the very nature you claim to love." It was a painful moment. On one side, the survival of his small company was at stake. On the other, the guilt of harming the environment weighed heavily on him. Financial pressure, public criticism, and the fear of losing everything pushed him to the edge. It almost felt like his dream was about to end right there. Yvon Chouinard found himself standing at a crossroad: profit or planet. He made the boldest move of his career. He stopped producing his best-selling steel pitons, the very product that had built his company, because they were damaging the rocks. On the surface, it looked like financial suicide. But Yvon took the risk and introduced eco-friendly climbing gear instead. That single decision set him apart from the rest of the industry. For the first time, someone placed the environment above business. And that was the moment Patagonia's true identity, a brand built on purpose, was born. For Patagonia, the real battle didn't stay limited to climbing gear. As the company grew, it came face-to-face with traditional fast fashion and giant outdoor brands, companies that saw profit as the only priority. The competition was against billion-dollar corporations with far greater resources and marketing power. Yvon, however, took a very different stand. Planet first, profit second. At the time, this philosophy seemed risky, even naive. But it was exactly this mindset that made Patagonia unique. On one side stood corporate greed, and on the other, a brand willing to fight for the planet. The very risk that once seemed like financial suicide has today become Patagonia's greatest strength. The brand has grown into a global icon, with annual revenue soaring into the billions. But more than just customers, Patagonia has built a loyal community, people who see the company not as a brand, but as a movement. They launched the 1% for the Planet pledge, committing a portion of every sale to environmental causes. Today, Patagonia stands as a pioneer of sustainable fashion, living proof that planet and profit can not only coexist, but thrive together. In 2022, Yvon Chouinard did something the corporate world had never even imagined. He gave Patagonia away, turning the entire company into a trust dedicated to the planet. From that moment on, all future profits would go directly toward protecting Earth. It was a bold and selfless step that proved business doesn't have to exist only for money. It can also be a tool to make the world better. Patagonia's legacy is clear. When you stand with the planet, the world stands with you. And that is the most powerful lesson of all.